really all over the place today. Is this a good episode, or is this just like I'm a total fucking loser today? Meanwhile, Leah has sued. Leah has sued for a hostile work environment. It's 109 pages. She's saying she was pressured by Bravo. She's suing NBC, Shed, Warner Brothers, who own Shed, and Andy. She's saying, she was pressured to drink by her colleagues. She was retaliated against her will because she was dying to stay sober. They retaliated against her. They said they weaponized her psyche. They knew she suffered from depression, bipolar anxiety. They used all that against her. She's suing for unlawful acts of disability discrimination because you can't discriminate against someone because they're an alcoholic, hostile work environment, retaliation, sex, and gender discrimination. What's going to happen to Andy? I don't know. This one is, and then she's also claiming he used coke. Kathy Griffin's video is resurfacing. Luann Dorinda, really? Dorinda is speaking out. Cynthia Bailey, too, saying that we never saw him use coke. Leah's now spoken out and said the Singa Stinga revealed that she was suffering from bipolar disorder and she was coerced by producers to bring that onto camera. Everyone thinks Jenna Lyons is not coming back to RHONY because she liked one of Leah's posts. Let's not read anything into any of this. I don't know. I mean, I just don't know what's going to happen to Andy. Part of me is like, coke is an illegal substance. If you're offering coke backstage to someone, shouldn't there be an investigation? I think that is absolutely a fireable offense. But Andy is the face of the network. You can't compare this. And I'm not saying he shouldn't be fired. I'm not saying he should be fired. I'm just saying you can't compare this to like a Matt Lauer or like a Chris Harrison. It's different if you are a producer and you work on a show. Chris Harrison is the face of The Bachelor. Andy Cohen is the face of an entire network. So Chris getting fired was a lot different than Andy. Also, Andy's the executive producer on Housewives. Other than Housewives, I count off the top of my head, Married to Medicine, the entire Below Deck franchise, Southern Charm, and Summer House. I guess I don't count Summer House Martha's Vineyard because that's only in its second season. I count 4 kind of like blockbuster things. Married to Medicine, the whole Below Deck franchise, which fine, that's like 3 to 4 installments. Summer House and Southern Charm. The Housewives makes up 85% of this network. So we have a real problem where someone is an executive producer on like 85% of the network. That is unprecedented. It is not Chris Harrison. It is not Matt Lauer. It's an entire network. So can you fire someone when the entire network, I can guarantee you this, Bravo is very upset that they got into this situation. I mean, it's going to have to get so bad before it gets better. There's going to have to be so many lawsuits, so many people speaking out, and just one after another after another. It's going to have to be so big. I'm not sure Andy isn't going to be fired. I'm not sure that he is. And I'm not giving an opinion either way. I just think it's an interesting situation and we have to see how it develops. But when you're that closely tied to a network, I think this is a like textbook case. My friend Ebony is always saying, season 13 is already being taught at higher institutions, in Black studies, that this season 13 is being used. I think this is like a business course at like a Harvard that should be taught about when you have a network and somebody becomes the face of the network and they're like 80, I don't know what percent is Housewives. It seems like it's 85% to me. I guarantee you that they are upset that they gave one person so much power. And so I don't know. I don't think you can just turn around and fire this person. I think it's going to be interesting. I've been hearing from a lot of housewives and Bravo celebrities. A housewife yesterday said, God, people love Andy, because the comments under Leah's post, I'm like, they don't love Andy. They just hate Leah. Everyone's saying we should have sued you for ruining RHONY season 13, for ruining RHONY. Let's all slow down. I mean, it's going to be interesting. Does Leah want money? Is this just a money grab? Are these real claims? We have so much to talk about. I don't know. I think Leah's lawsuit is, look, I think she has valid claims. I think with Raquel, it really is revenge porn. I'm not sure we've heard the last of Raquel. I would think that Raquel doesn't necessarily have a claim against NBC or Bravo or Andy or Evolution because she would have shot that shot already. But it's Garagos and Friedman. Leah's lawyers are not Garagos and Friedman, but this is just starting. Just starting. So we have a lot more to cover on this. I'm going to do a deep dive on this lawsuit next week as well. I just want to share that. I mean, Brandi still hasn't sued. So Andy's only been sued once, guys. So let's just see what happens. Can I picture Coke being offered backstage? Sure. Yeah. When you look at other talk shows like Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, Seth Meyers, Jon Stewart, late night talk shows, I don't think Coke was offered backstage. Can I picture that at Watch What Happens? Yeah, a housewife said to me also yesterday, well, it's a different environment at Watch What Happens. Really? Does that really mean we should be handing out illegal drugs? No shade to anyone that does Coke. Oh, also, did you all see Kelly Dodd's video on this? Kelly Dodd, Rick was reading the charges, and Kelly Dodd was just eating it up. She can't get enough. Then she went on a whole tirade. I'm not even coming for Kelly Dodd. So before you get mad at me, Kelly, I actually thought it was kind of amusing. She said she blames this on Leah being woke. And she says, Bravo, you hired all these woke people. And look, they all want a handout. Look at this. Look at the woke. They want something for free. I don't know if that's what this is about, Kelly, but Kelly is in her glory. She's having a good time with this. All right, let Kelly have a good time. Um, you know, I look, if you're discriminated against because you don't drink and people get opportunities ahead of you, yeah, that's a lawsuit. But, to say that, we encourage an environment of drinking and, even part of Leah's lawsuit is saying, producers pried into her deep, dark secrets to use against her. Well, that's the job, girlfriend. That is the job. So part of this to me is like, that's the job. No one forced you to be there. And if they really retaliated against you and said, here are opportunities that we're giving to the people that partake in the Coke, that partake in the alcohol, and we're not giving you an opportunity because you are sober, that to me is where the real claim could lie. Granted, we put you back on girls' trips. So whether we encourage you to drink or not, that's a whole nother story. We still gave you this opportunity. So I don't know. I got a lot of thoughts, guys. Did you like the reunion? Did you like this reunion? I don't know. And now we're advertising buying Beverly Hills. And are we going to find out anything on that? Garcelle still says, 2 parts left. Garcelle still says, we're going to find out something major about Kyle. Dorit still says the ending is unlike any ending in reunion history. Is she talking about the fact that Kathy was brought out? Because we all know that. I'm not hopeful we're going to find anything out in these last 2 parts. I'm not hopeful we're going to find anything out on buying Beverly Hills. But all of that is coming. You know what? I am thinking we should have Rachel Leviss on to really just talk lawsuits. The only other person that had Mark Garagos on her podcast was Rachel Leviss. So do you guys want me to have Rachel Leviss on? We can break down, we can talk about Carolyn Manzo, Brandi, Leah, and we could talk about